Well, hi, I'm Pete, and today I'm with Jonathan Jay, the founder of the Digital Lighthouse. And we're going to talk about something today which I've heard of, but to be honest, I'm really not sure what it is. So Jonathan, can you tell us what the marketing triangle is, please?
Okay, so the marketing triangle is the three cornerstones of getting your marketing right. Okay. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, my marketing could be more effective, I could be getting a better return on my marketing, or I'm not doing any marketing, or my marketing is purely word of mouth and referrals, which is great, but it's a very slow organic growth, and you want to do something more proactive where you're in control of the outcome, then you need to consider the marketing triangle as a fundamental understanding before you do anything else. So at the top of the triangle is the word market, strangely enough. So the top of the marketing triangle is the word market. And the market is who are you selling to? So when we put together our plans for Digital Lighthouse customers, and we help them identify precisely the market, we're looking at several things. We're looking at not just who could you sell it to, but who is the best person to sell it to. Right. Where is the most growth opportunity? Where is the largest amount of potential? Because the entrepreneurial mind is always coming up with new ways of, well, we could sell it to these people, we sell it to these people, and this is great, and this would be good. And there's all these different things, and we start to splinter our effort and our time rather than focus it. So when you start to develop a laser focus on something, and you focus your energy, a little bit like in the old Bruce Lee movies, it's the focus of the energy. It's the one finger punch can knock someone over rather than just the shove. Okay, so we stop shoving and have the one finger approach to what is the focus, what is the bullseye, what is the laser, what is the best possible market to sell what you sell to. And let me tell you the best possible market. The best possible market is already open to the idea of buying. You don't have to persuade them. Now you might have to educate, in fact you should educate, but you don't have to persuade someone. So a good market is not a market that's already incumbent with a very heavily resourced or a very strong competitor. So if you're trying to persuade everyone to throw away something that they've already invested a lot of time and money and effort and energy into and replace it with what you sell, that's a tough market to crack. Now, that's a long term. The best market is a market that's already open to the idea of buying what it is that you sell. The best market is a market that is not price sensitive to what it is that you sell. So a market that is willing to pay the price that you've set on your product. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about pricing in a future video, but as most people underprice what they do, every single time they're losing and making their business less profitable as a result. And there is a big downside to being less profitable. If you're less profitable, you grow slower. A more profitable business grows faster because you've got more money to reinvest into the marketing. So if you can make your business more profitable, you will have a more successful business than a business that's less profitable. Anyway. So also a good market is a market that you can locate easily. So for example, the SME market is a good market, the small and medium-sized business market, because we can locate them easily. There are publications and websites and places where the SME market congregate. There are pockets of the SME market that you can approach. You can approach them via direct mail in a very straightforward fashion. You can approach them on the internet. So if a market is very easy to locate, that helps you as well. So getting the market bit right is absolutely essential. And maybe a business isn't as successful as it could be because it's not quite defined that market, or has actually got the wrong market. And all it takes is a little shift, just a little shift one way or the other to a slightly similar market, but a market is more approachable, that is less price sensitive, and a market that already has the desire for what it is that you sell. A lot easier to sell to someone who already wants it.
I think a lot of people make the mistake of trying to go for everybody because they think, well, that's more potential customers. Like, I serve everyone. Well, actually, no. By narrowing down, counterintuitively perhaps, you sell more. And I think a lot of people are scared to niche down into a particular market and own it rather than try and spread themselves so thin.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at highly successful businesses of the last 10 years, they tend to be very niche markets. And you might say, well, Apple isn't niche. Well, actually it is. It appeals to a certain type of person, and therefore the message is crafted to that certain type of person. We'll come to message in a moment.
Yeah.
So let's get the top of the triangle is the word market. Down here on this corner of the market is the message. What is the message? And you can't craft the message until you know exactly who the market is. And then you ask yourself, what is the biggest benefit of what I do, what we sell, the product service that we provide to that market? What is the biggest benefit? And that becomes a core part of the message. And this is what copywriters do. Copywriters craft a message that appeals to the market. Now, there's one primary message, there's a secondary, there's a tertiary message to what you are selling. But there is one thing that hits a certain hot button. Now, if you can craft a series of messages, you've now got yourself a marketing campaign. So this series of Facebook ads is around this message and appeals to this sliver of the market. This message now appeals to this sliver, and therefore that's another set of Facebook ads, and so forth. We're starting to develop a marketing campaign. Now, what I'm telling you here is what the MC Saatchis and the Ogilvies will, the big agencies will charge you hundreds of thousands of pounds to develop. And believe me, they're not doing really anything more than what we're talking about here. They'll produce some lovely graphs for you, but the fundamental strategies are exactly the same. So this is the £100,000 video, okay? So getting the message right is critical. Now, I went to an awards dinner the other day, and I saw people winning awards for marketing messages, and it was a very interesting. Maybe that's the subject for another video. It was a very interesting experience. Now, so we've got the market, we've got the message, and now we've got to select the media. And the media is the method by which you communicate that message to the market. So the media might be Facebook, it might be LinkedIn, it might be AdWords. The critical thing here, there is never one media. There is never one media. At this awards dinner, I sat next to a company that has gone from 4 million in sales in 2010 to 56 million pounds worth of sales in 2014. So in 4 years, they've gone from 4 million to 56 million. And I'll tell you exactly how they did it. They got their market right. They defined their market. And they realized actually that they were undercharging for their market. Because when you understand your market, you can find out what the market is willing to pay. Sure. And they were undercharging for their market. Next, now they knew that, they could get their message right. And then they selected their media. And their media are newspapers, and their media is television. And I don't mean sort of prime time in the middle of Coronation Street. I mean lots of 1 minute spots, late at night, early morning, daytime, across the hundreds of channels there are out there. And they've got that media correct, and that is why, because they've got the marketing triangle right, they've gone from 4 million to 56 million in a 4-year period. And the growth has been huge. It's been explosive. The product hasn't changed. The owner of the business hasn't changed, but the marketing triangle has changed.
And often your particular product or service doesn't need to be anything special. It's just the way that it's marketed, with everything lining up.
Yeah,
you get leverage behind it.
Absolutely. And when I talk to a business, and when you talk to a business, we're using in our heads this marketing triangle map, if you like, to say what is it for this business. And many business owners, because they lack that, they never reach the potential that they should, and they run out of steam. And business is a race. It is a race. It's a race to market successfully before you run out of money.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't get to the marketing successfully ribbon at the end of the race before you run out of money, then game over. It's a tough race to win, and some people just run out of energy before they get to the finish line.
Here's one thing I think that also holds people back, and that's their messaging is all about them, not about the top of the triangle, about the benefits to the market. So I don't know whether there's a whole industry around if you're passionate and you're worth it and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
No one cares about you. It's about what you can do for your market. Concentrate on that and get the rest of that triangle right.
Let me give you the test. You print out every page on your website. So now you've got just be black and white printouts. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look pretty. You've now got on your desk every single page of your website, and you take a red highlighter, a pink highlighter, and you highlight the words we and us and our throughout the entire website. Then you take a green highlighter and you highlight the word you all the way through. And then you can look at your entire website on your desk and you can say if there's more reds or more greens. If there's more reds, the marketing message is wrong because it's all about you, us, our business. We've been in business for this long. We could do this. We're brilliant at this. We're so good at this. The you, all about you, is if you've got lots of greens on there, you're doing well. If you haven't got very many greens, you need to get your copy, the words on your website, rewritten by a professional copywriter who knows how to sell to someone and makes it all about them rather than about you, the business.
It's one of the biggest mistakes. I get asked to look at copy and it's all about them.
I know it is, yeah.
And it's just wrong.
Yeah.
Listen, we could go on for hours, couldn't we?
So that's the marketing triangle.
That's the marketing triangle. In other videos, we'll talk about some of the things we've mentioned in more detail, but as we're running out of time now, I'm afraid we're going to have to bring it to an end. Thank you, Jonathan.
Great, thank you.
Okay.